There we go. Okay, there you go. You have the magic touch there, Miss Jordan. Let's see. Here come the attendees. All right, welcome everyone to July's webinar. Love to see so many familiar faces coming back. We're excited to share with you about our new themes and layout builder and all sorts of fun new stuff. Welcome everyone. You guys are just all coming in. We got some waving and some hi. Oh, I see you, Juan. Good, because I just missed your phone call and I apologize for that, but I was getting ready for this webinar. So I think you're going to this will help answer some of the questions you had. So that's good. So again, welcome everyone. Jordan and I are presenting today. We got Chrissy and Christina on with us to help moderate. We're going to get started just a second. As you guys are coming in, just to make sure you're aware of this particular webinar, we've had so much fun with our webinars and we're really hearing some great feedback from all of you that you're enjoying the webinars. And most of our webinars are really geared towards teaching you how to do things with your current website. This webinar is going to be a little bit more about the future, whether you're looking at updating to a newer theme, the newer tools that are coming down the pike with Layout Builder and with Drupal 10. So this webinar is really not so much about your current site and your current updating needs, just so you know where our framework is and what we're working from, but it's really cool stuff. So if you're interested in seeing all the new things, please, this will be a great webinar for you. We think it's going to be a little shorter than our typical hour, so that's cool. And we're going to record it like we always do. All right.
Yeah.
Jordan?
And I'll just add to that although this one's not our typical schedule for the monthly plan, next month we dive right back into online campaigns. We've got advanced web forms coming up, and then October we have a really fun one with a special guest presenter, and it's going to be about all things Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, all of those questions. We'll kind of dive through best practices there, so really excited for that one coming up.
Yes, well, they're all good though, because
yeah.
Anyway. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started here today. Our team for this webinar, Jordan and I'm Allison, will be presenting, and we've got Chrissy and Christina moderating, helping to answer the questions as they come in. And just as a reminder to those of you, if you haven't been on one of these webinars yet, it is a Zoom webinar. It's a little different than a Zoom meeting. So there's a Q&A box. Do find that. That's where you're going to type in any questions you have, and our team will respond to you via the webinar tool. So a little different than like a Zoom chat. So it's a Zoom Q&A. All right. All right. I have a question for all of you. I didn't get my poll ready to launch. Where is it? So we have been talking for a while about Google Analytics, and the due date was July 1. If you didn't do it yet, you still can, but let me go ahead and see how we're doing. So did you get Google Analytics 4, GA4 set up? Please take a look at the poll on your screen and click yes or no, or I have no idea what you're talking about, which is the fair answer to that question, because it's one of those things. So what we will do as we look at these responses coming in, our account managers, if you're no or what is GA4, we will definitely reach back out to you and help make sure you get Google Analytics squared away on your site. Why do you want this? This is your data, your traffic data, your statistics on your website. Everyone should have this. So we'll make sure we let you know. So 61% of you have. Good job. Hopefully you've logged back in since, made sure that that data is collecting. Yeah, 61% is pretty good. A few of you are still like unsure or not sure. So we'll connect with you on that, because by golly, you want that. So thanks for participating in my poll. I like our little poll questions at the beginning. I think it's fun. See, we find out if you're paying attention or not. It's right off the bat, so it's good. Here's our agenda today. It's pretty simple one. We're going to be talking and developed by One Each Technologies. I'm going to talk a little bit about why do we keep developing new themes? What's going on here? So some of it will revolve around things like ADA compliance. The Americans with Disabilities Act is continuing to change the marker and the movement of how we do our websites. what looks good on mobile, what looks good on desktop, the color saturations, the font sizes, all of that kind of stuff. So I got a slide, we're going to talk a bit about this. This actually applies to your website now too. So a little ADA compliance discussion because that's important. And why should you change a theme? So we'll look at those answers to those questions. After I show the themes off, then Jordan's going to show Layout Builder, which is really cool. So it's just neat. I mean, I've been with this company 16 years, and to keep seeing all the advancements, it's just fun stuff. All right, let me just do an ADA review with you. These are important tips for your website now and your websites in the future. So right now, a lot of the themes, when you place a picture on your site and maybe your menu floats over or words float over, sometimes some of those things are hard to read. The newer themes have a lot of color overlays, whether it darkens images a bit so you can read text, or it has even like a blue color overlay or something that matches your theme. So the color overlays are a new recommended standard that we're starting to see more and more. Font sizes also, we do know ADA says minimum font size on sites is 16 pixels. So we're working to make sure throughout the site that they're adjusted. I do want to remind you guys, like your site, every website has a style guide. And if you are typically going to a page, highlighting it and making the sizes bigger because it's too small, or making them smaller because it's too big, whatever it is, we can make adjustments to your style guide so you don't have to do that manually every time. So just be aware that there are some things that we can help you with in case you've been looking at that. And also just to remind you, your website's going to have ADA compliance tools, but it's only as compliant as what you do. So we will continue to have features like your images and your hyperlinks that you can add what's called alt text. It's that text that pops up over an image or over a hyperlink that computerized readers can read, which is a recommended ADA thing. And if you're struggling in this area, there are additional widgets that you can purchase as well that just kind of cover your bases. So there's stuff that as a website user, you need to be aware of that you should be doing. And then there's additional tools that can to make it easier. And that's still going to be the case even with new sites. It's just a matter of what you do with it. Mobile images that are easy to read. So this has been a challenge. And when we look at the new themes, we're going to talk about that. I still continually find that customers struggle sometimes with a large rotor image that chops significantly to mobile. That is the standard. That's the standard of keeping an image large. So how images go to mobile, how easy they are to read, avoiding infographics where you have birds on images. Those infographic things, they're not ADA compliant. They are not easy to read. They don't go well to mobile. So all of these new designs are really featured so that you can use nice pictures, because we love pictures, but you use text overlay boxes to put the text on instead of graphically making them. And those are just some of the reasons why you want to think about refreshing your site, because you want to keep up with any of these guides and recommendations. So why change your theme? Well, again, keeping up with the times and ADA and such, but we find that on average, our customers change their theme about every 2 to 3 years. Pretty much things start to get dated. Maybe you've even had staff turnover and you got new folks who have some new ideas. Technology is always changing. Your site can, again, look dated pretty quickly. And there's just new tools out there. So if you're thinking this is something you might want to do, then keep in mind that the process is about a 2 to 3 month process. Many of you have used Basecamp with us before. That is the tool we use for updating sites. Christina Godfrey on the call here is our project manager for any theme changes and updates to your website. So you'll have a dedicated person who will walk you through that process, as well as your account manager. And just to keep things in mind about these 4 new themes. So Jordan, I'm going to make sure I say this right. Why don't I let you state this fact about the new themes?
Yeah, so the 4 new themes we're rolling out in Drupal 9 right now, so they are ready to be moved into. However, if you go into one of those new themes, we are currently working on having Drupal 10 ready, as well as completing the development on Layout Builder, which we're very excited about. So if you are in one of those 4 new themes, as soon as we have those 2 items ready, that Drupal 10 update ready for you and the Layout Builder, we'll go ahead and add those to your site at no cost because you're in that theme. That's kind of what we're planning on. We're just finishing up some development items, but if you're in one of the new 4, which is Catalina, Oracle, Monsoon, or Phoenix, those are the 4 theme names. Once Drupal 10 is available and once Layout Builder is available, you will get those added to your site at no cost.
And we already have prototypes going, so that's moving along very quickly. All right, let's stop messing around and let's go look at these new themes. And we've shown some of them a little bit. And you know, development is always going on. So I will preface this by saying not 100% done on certain things. We're still tweaking things and will be for a little while, but we are ready to start rolling with all of these new designs. So I think it was back in December that we showed these as actual images. This was one we showed as theme 1 at that time, which we now call Catalina. And just what I was talking about, see how this image behind this space is got kind of a darkened overlay. That's automatically part of the theme. So you load your picture, it will soften it up so that the text is easier to read. As I scroll down, now keep in mind, color-wise, your brand is your brand, and all sites will be adjusted to whatever brand your organization has. So no worries about that. This color right here is one of the colors that some of our Unity ministries use. So if you're a United Way, we would switch it out. If you're Meals on Wheels, we can switch it out. Any organization you're with, we'll make sure that the colors meet your needs. For given areas to feature. And also, as I'm looking at these themes, do keep this in mind. We put almost too much stuff on the homepage. It's easier for you to say, oh, hide that section. I don't really have a need for this section. We'll hide it and you might have a need later and we'll bring it back, or you can leave it and use it. A lot of nice features like this with the shadow behind it. And then sometimes with some of your items, it's nice to just have the picture without the text on it, have the text below with the button that is your call to action CTA, your button that goes, you know, give or read more, or join our cause, whatever it might be. News section. This will bring in news stories as you add them in with featured pictures and some overlays. We're still making some adjustments here, but it's a very visually beautiful. It also has those color overlays over the images as you add them in. Event section, where you add your calendar, you'll have that. And then a couple of featured areas, such as education and health. You can add graphics if you want with some information, bottom of the site. Okay, so this particular theme is Catalina. And one of the things that I want to point out about this theme is its menu structure. Menu structure, I think, is an important deciding factor in a site. We are still making some adjustments to this, but it does have the hamburger menu that when you click, it'll pop open. I'm going to reference our current site called Papago, which many of you have, that has a similar feature. We are looking at adjusting Catalina to do more of this, where they click the menu, the whole menu lays out. This has been a very, very popular design for the aspect of its menu. Why is this menu kind of cool? Because I don't have to click on each one of the items and see what's under who we are and what's under our impact. It's a whole entire menu that lays out. It's a 2-tier menu structure for you to organize. What's great about this particular menu design is that on mobile, it will pull the whole menu over. So these are one of the things that I say, keep in mind when you're thinking about themes and what you want to do. Like, that's where your Google Analytics is really important. Have you looked at your analytics? What percentage of your population is viewing your site on a mobile device versus viewing your site on a desktop? If you have heavy mobile usage, this menu is fabulous. And that's the menu structure that Catalina is going to have. When you click it on a mobile, it's going to slide over. My current demo doesn't do this quite yet because it's still into the programmers, but we will take a look at the mobile look of it. Once you come to the mobile view on a phone, you're also going to see that it does do that significant drop off on the sides. So it's again about being very purposeful on the images you select on the top. But the other items are going to stack out for you. Here's your news. Your news is going to stack out as well with your different news features. They'll all have their rollovers, your events calendar, your features on the bottom, and then your menu. And depending on the theme you're using, bottom menus are also a great way of being very easily clickable. This is a guide for you on your current site. Footer menus. Do you use your footer menu? You should use your footer menu. Footer menus are one of the easiest things to click on a phone. So sometimes you'll see sites with really huge footer menus. No problem with that. So think about that. Think about what your footer menu looks like. So this is Catalina, and it is still being refined as we speak. So we're still making a few adjustments. All right, let's go on to Monsoon. Monsoon. And if you guys don't know this, our offices are based out of the Phoenix, Arizona greater area, and the names are relevant to the area. And they do have a lot of monsoons. So this one is called Monsoon. It does have the big picture background with the menu that is on top of the picture. We have actually developed this one fully, and we do have someone live in this site. So I'm going to flip over and look at that live site because I think it's kind of fun to look at a site that's actually launched in the theme. So I love this on the events with where the picture's on top and then you have the event item underneath it. All right, let's look at Crossroads United Way. They just went live this week in Monsoon. Their site, it looks great. Logo, whatever works for you. They did keep these images, which you always have the ability to do when we give you a rollout site. There are some default stock images that you're welcome to use, or you can change them out to localize them to be your needs. But yeah, so this is what their menu structure on this design looks like. As you scroll down, you'll see these, we got our count ups going. A lot of our customers love the count up numbers. So this is a different look to the count up numbers than some of our other themes have had, but very nice. Couple columns with some information, learn more. Latest news, features. And then they're featuring their Read United, their Thrive United, their success stories. And they didn't remove any of the sections. I noticed they kept all the sections that came with the site and they've utilized them well. So for those United Ways who are on the call, this has been a hot topic lately. The membership requirements badge has been given to those of you who have completed that database too. If you need that added to your site, you can submit that to support. We typically put it somewhere in the footer area. So since I'm looking at that, I thought I would make a quick mention for you. And this is the theme we call Monsoon. Did I look at it on phone already? I don't even remember. I felt like I didn't. Menu drops down like this. You work through the different areas. Stacks. The numbers still count up. I just already launched them. Everything stacks out. All right. So that's Monsoon. The third new theme that we have developed is called Oracle. Difference here, and again, we're still working through some colors and we'll make sure it's your branded colors. The difference here is going to be that the menu, instead of laying on top of an image, is in a white bar above. And so I have some customers who prefer that the menus stand out separate from on top of the image area. But on top of the image is also a very modern, popular choice. So that's up to you. You have options there. You do have a couple of call out buttons right on top of your image. That's also a neat feature that you're going to be able to add buttons right on top of that front image. So in the past, a rotor would just have a one button kind of thing. This one actually will let you put more than one on it. Some featured areas. Again, count up numbers. We made it through them pretty quick. Our work, community, these can be, you know, testimonials, stories, whatever works for you. News stories, events. And again, if it's got elements on here that you're like, I don't know what I do with that section, we can certainly hide off a section that you're unsure about. So this one is called Oracle. On the mobile devices, it will stack out just like the other ones do. And again, we're still making some adjustments, so. All right. Have we had questions in the chat as I've gone through these? It's been quiet. Let's see. All right, and then the next one is Phoenix. So went ahead and went with the city name. So this design, which is the newest design, literally just got our hands on it within the last couple of weeks, is still definitely being tweaked and modified. So keep that in mind as we do go through it. But the plan for the menu structure on this design, as I have been informed, is that it is going to have this type of menu, the type of menu that some of our themes have where it's the pop out and the items are underneath it. That is the planned menu structure for Phoenix, not the purple box you see there. So that is the design that we are working on in developing out that menu structure. Now, one of the things about this design that I think some of you might gravitate towards is because that large rotor area has been a challenge for some of our customers as far as getting something that works and then the way it crops to mobile, etc. This one is going to have a separated image from the words. And when we go to mobile, this full image will actually show because it is a smaller sized image. So it is going to adjust to that space. So we'll look at mobile in just a second. Again, some sections that you can highlight different work that you're doing. Visual with pictures, lots of visual. Here's your news items. So if you add using /news, if you use that news feature within the website, it'll give the title with the picture. And then your events feed in the bottom of the site. So let's look at this on mobile. A little smaller homepage design on this one. See how it stacks out. So it puts the title up at the top and then that picture just drops below it. And for some of our customers that takes care of a challenge that you had with the images. So something to think about as far as whether or not that's something that would meet your needs. Okay. So for the most part, what we would be talking about is looking at changing your theme from your existing theme to one of the new ones. Again, it would be in Drupal 9 now. We'd get you updated to Drupal 10 with Layout Builder, which Jordan's about to go through. And then customers coming in new, or if you need new sites, we would look at one of these themes and work with them on these as well. There are other themes to choose from also, but these are the ones that are already concentrated to have Layout Builder and Drupal 10. So we do encourage you to really consider from this set of 4 first, but if for whatever reason you like the other themes that we have out there, they're still available. All right, Miss Jordan, I think it is about time for you to grab the screen for me.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and switch over here. Hopefully you're seeing a Layout Builder demo slide. Yes?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. We are, again, super excited internally. I have been having such a fun time these past couple of weeks working with our team on developing Layout Builder and playing around with Layout Builder a lot. We've got a couple of things ready today to show you, at least ready enough to demo so you can get an idea of what it actually looks like to build a page out in Layout Builder. We are putting some more work into it. We've got some new components that you guys will have available that I think you'll really love. So let's go ahead and dive into what some of those things look like. So this is a page that I have created in using Layout Builder. And just as a reminder, all of our Drupal 10 website themes, the 4 new ones we just talked about, are going to come with Layout Builder. And it is a powerful editing tool that lets you edit while you're on screen, which is very exciting. So you can see the page instead of always having to jump back into that editing view. You can see the page while you are creating different section designs and layout designs. What I have on this page is some accordions. You'll have options to have accordion kind of section titles with some text below. This is optional text here. What the accordions can look like. You can stack accordions in here, which is really nice. And we'll go through actually creating this here in just a minute. We also are going to have some cards, promo cards available. We have a little styling issue I have the team working on. There will be spacing in between here if you have columns, but really excited to see these pop up. These will have the option to have a button in here if you need. It produces a nice little card with a shadow background to really make it stand up. These would look really great in columns across your page if you're trying to spotlight different programs on an internal page. The promo card is going to be perfect for that. You have options to add an image in here or not add an image in here. And the card is going to stretch to the container width of your column. So if you're doing 4 even columns, or like I have here, 2 uneven columns, I've got one with kind of a 25% width and then a 75% width, that card will stretch to fill that section. We also are going to have tabs. I know you currently have tabs on all of your Drupal 8 or 9 sites, those page components. And they're going to look a little different in Layout Builder than they do now, but the function is still going to be the same. You'll have the optional kind of heading above to put an explanation, and then you can add your tabs down below and they in this bar, and they'll switch the content underneath down here. And then we have another one, kind of a fun name. It's called a ping pong. This is just another name for the text and image component. If you guys are familiar with that one on your sites now, this is just like that component. So you'll get a nice little heading section that is optional to fill out. You do not have to use that section. You'll have your image where you can choose if you'd like it on the left or the right. And then you'll have a little heading, a text, and 2 additional buttons that you can place within this section. So I've got one with my image on the left here, and then one with my image on the right. So it's meant to fit into a 1-column section, and then you can switch out those images. So there's more to come. I've got probably 5 or 6 other components that we are working on building into Layout Builder that are available, but these were the ones I wanted to just show today. What I'd like to do now is actually jump into the back end of a brand new page so you can really see what it looks like to work within the tool. So on your sites, once they are ready, you will add a new page, and we will have a content type called landing page layout builder. So you know that this is the type that has a layout builder attached to it. And on the back end of this page, it's going to look very basic. It is just going to ask you for a title field, and we will also be adding in a header image field on here as well. I think we've also got one on the basic page layout builder type. This one should have a header image field that you can add in a picture here. Let's jump back to our landing page and give this a title. We can call this Layout Builder Demo for Webinar.
Hey, so Jordan, when customers maneuver over to Drupal 10 and Layout Builder, obviously all of their content's coming from before, and they've got components and they have all this stuff already built on via basic pages or the other landing pages. Those don't just convert, do they?
Yeah, that's a great question. Unfortunately, they do not just convert over. They will have to be rebuilt. There'll be a separate content type that you can use to rebuild them at your own pace. We are working on some good resources to be able to provide to you guys to really help you strategize which pages to start first on with those, how to move forward. We have got a great little tool that I'm working on to be able to hand you over a strategy for converting your pages over to Layout Builder. I wish they magically converted. They don't, but that's okay. We'll help walk you through that process. It's not terribly complex. It's just a little bit longer, and it could even serve as a good time to look at your current content and refresh it a little bit. Give all your internal pages a refresh.
It's definitely a time to be creative because you get to really like think through some of this.
Yeah. All right. So I just saved that new page. All I did was add my title up here. And now when looking at the page, I see a few tabs up here at the top. So I see that editing tab that we're used to seeing on our sites now, where we jump back into the back end, we build with components. I see my delete page. The new one that's going to show up is this layout tab. And this is where you would use Layout Builder. So when I click on this layout tab, I'm going to get a few more options up here. I'll have a save layout, a save and edit, discard changes, and revert to the defaults. And by default, each page will give you a few sections added in here already, a header section, a banner section, a body section. I personally just like to go ahead and remove these and give myself a blank slate to work off. So I am going to clear out these sections here, so that I just have a blank slate. Personally, that's what I like to work off of. So now Layout Builder is going to ask you to create sections, and this is where you would add in your columns, how you want your page to design. Do you want 2 columns in this section? Do you then want to switch to 3 columns? So for every section, you're going to get the option to add 1, 2, 3, or 4 columns. And I am actually going to switch to our basic page content type, because I think that one is a little more developed. I want to show you that side. So in that layout tab, I'm going to remove our sections and give myself that blank slate here. All right, I'm going to add sections. I've got 1, 2, 3, or 4 column. I can decide, what am I going to put here at the top? Do I want to put some accordions? Do I need columns? Am I doing a text and image? I'm going to start off with 2 columns. And once I select the columns, I then am going to be able to say, okay, do I need these to be 50-50 columns? Should they be even? Should they be, off center, 25-75? Even 33-67, it'll kind of give you some options for how you would like those columns to look. Let's go ahead and do 50-50 for this section. And then it will ask you for an administrative label. And this is going to be an internal field only, so that as you are working through those pages, you can kind of note, okay, I want to have, this top section is going to be for all my FAQs on this page. I'm going to put some FAQs here. So that's what I'm going to call this label.
Oh, I love that.
And you'll see it appear, right here at the top. So before you even start adding content, you can map out what you'd like to see on this page, so you know where to put things.
Right. Currently, when sometimes you'll have accordions and you'll have columns and you'll have different stuff, and you're like, oh, what's in what section? So you actually can label them administratively. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
you can keep going.
I'm learning too, guys. I haven't seen this.
You can keep adding sections, or you can go right into adding blocks. So if you wanted to kind of map out the outline of your page, I could add another section and say, okay, now I want to go into, 3 columns. We're going to make these even, and this is going to be maybe program descriptions. And I can just kind of add my section title, so that as I'm building out the page, I can start to get a feel for what it's going to look like, how long it's going to be. Once I'm ready to start adding content within the section I've created, that's where the add block button is going to come in hand. So within each column that I've created, I will hit add block. My little interface is going to pop out over here. Close our message, and I am going to choose create a custom block. And once you click this button, you are going to be presented with more options. These are some of the components that we've been working on. Not all of them are ready yet, and we have more to add to this section, but these are going to be like your list of page components. So what you're familiar with right now on all your sites is when you go into the back end of your page, you hit the add component button and that list of page components pops up. That's what this list here is in Layout Builder. It's the same thing. So if I wanted to add an accordion, I would then select, I'm going to choose accordion. It's going to ask me for a title. This is a required field. It is an internal title field only, unless you would like it to display. I'll add 2 accordions and I'll have one where I show the title and one where I don't. So you can see what that difference looks like. But this is the block title. Then we get to the actual accordion, just like you have within components. You're going to add that accordion title or that heading, and then in the body, that's what opens up in that accordion. So I'll choose accordion heading. Whoops, if I can. This uses the full toolbar. Put a little demo text, but you'll have the full editing toolbar here. You can add images, you can add hyperlinks within this area, just like you can currently. And then if I needed to, I can add additional accordions. If I'm trying to stack a couple of them, I can add another item with the add accordion button, and it'll give me a second one down here. And I can keep going as much as I want. Once I'm done, I will go ahead and hit the add block button. And that's going to immediately pop those 2 accordions into my section here. Now, you'll notice I can't actually click on them yet because I am still in editing mode. As soon as I save the layout, I can then start clicking on those accordions and seeing how they work. But for now, I'll jump back to my layout mode. And they are there in this section. If I decided to, I can also drag and move them to the other block if I need to, just by dragging. If I want to change the order that those are appearing, you can drag and drop and change those sections. But let's add another one on our right-hand column. Again, we're going to hit create a custom block and accordion one more time. And this time I'll display this title. Let's give ourselves a heading. And we will add this one here. So if you choose to display that title, it's going to display on the left-hand side as kind of I believe this is an H2, a heading 2 if you need. Our recommendation is not to display them, but if you want to, if there's a, if you need that additional title or you like that styling, you do have that option. To go back in and edit, this is going to be the big change that's different for a lot of people. You have that pencil icon. We usually tell you to click that pencil icon and then click edit. That's how you get into edit most blocks. Within Layout Builder, you'll see edit is not an option here. What we want to go in is configure. That will open up that panel on the side where you can jump back in and make additional edits. So let's go in this one and remove that title now. I'm going to uncheck our display title box and then hit update at the bottom. And that immediately removes it. Let's keep working our way down. We also added some 3 columns down below. Maybe we can add here some cards. So I'm going to add a block into this section. I'll create our custom block. And this time I'm going to select the card. This is going to ask me for a couple things. It'll ask me for a title. Again, this is an internal title, but it is a required field. This is also a great place to put, if you're mapping out kind of content internally. Maybe this is our summer program information. And you can give yourself that title so you can quickly see, what each area is. We will have a section heading and a section subheading. And these are, again, optional fields. They're going to show above the card. And then you will also have an optional button you can add. And then you can choose column sizes down here for different cards. I will add a 1 column. And then we've got our actual card. This is the heading. I'm going to add an image in here. We'll give ourselves a description. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
Holy moly. And link text. And we'll add a card item. Oops. Actually, let's remove that card item. We want to add block. This will start to pull that block in here. We are making some adjustments on this card, but it'll pull it right in. You'll see the button as a whole on the section and then individual buttons on the card. Very similar to this is going to be a promo card. So if we want to add the promo card in this area as well. Maybe we want this one to be about our winter programs. The title on the promo card is going to be required. And that will be viewable or visible to all site visitors. Give ourselves a little bit of demo text here. We'll add an image. I'm going to pull a random one we've got here. The layout builder works with the media library on the site. And then again, an optional button. So if I want to add a button in here, I can. And then we can hit add block. And this will create a nice little card with some shadows behind it. It'll pull your image in. You can choose not to have an image in here. You can choose not to have a button. This is that heading title and then the body area down below. I love these promo cards. I think they look very cool. The card will also be very similar to the promo card in its styling. And again, if I need to, I can just move that right into the other section of that column if needed. What I will point out as well, if we jump back into this promo card, is there will be 2 tabs up here at the top. We have a content tab, and this is where all the meat and bones of that component are going to be, where you put your title, you put all your images and your content. We are currently building out the styling tab as well. And this is really where you can get creative. This is going to be an area that's going to let you update the background color on these. You can update the spacing, the border, the shadow, some animation to these features, your font size as well. You can make, some additional edits, which we're really excited about. It's not quite built out yet, but it's going to give you, Layout Builder is going to give you a lot of options when creating content on the site to really take it, 2 steps further than what you can currently on the sites. All right, let's see. We've built accordions, we've built the promo cards. Let's go ahead and add another section and let's do a ping pong component. I love saying that one. I'm going to add just a 1 column section for this.
Whatever is a ping pong.
A ping pong component. This is your text and image component that you're using right now. It's just got kind of a fun name to it now. So I'll go ahead and add a block. We're going to choose we're going to choose the create a custom block option. This is going to show you those a list of custom blocks. That's a kind of a verbiage shift in Layout Builder. They're all called blocks. We call them all components right now, but they mean the same thing, but we're just customizing these blocks. So I'm going to choose ping pong. And again, we've got that internal title. It does not show to viewers unless you want that title to show. We've got a section heading and a subheading, and this is pretty common in a lot of the custom blocks that you're seeing. These will always show kind of above that component if you need to kind of put a title and a little description above it. The heading and the description are really the text and image heading. Ping pong heading. Down below, I can also select my image that I'd like to use for this section. Let's use this piggy bank. And then I can choose if I'd like my image on the left or the right. I'll leave it on the left for this one. We'll do a second one and add that one to the right-hand side. And then we do have up to 2 buttons that you can add on these text and image or these ping pong components. They are completely optional, so they will be here. If you do not want to use a button, just leave them blank, but you can also use 1 or 2 of them. Button 1, we'll go ahead and add 2 here. Button 2. And here we've got our image on the left-hand side. This is that heading, the description area, and then the 2 buttons right below. If we wanted to add another ping pong with the image on the right-hand side, I can just add another block right in that same section so that they're stacking right on top of each other. One of the things I love is that I can see the content right as I'm deciding to edit and make changes. I can see my existing content over here. I can choose what to put underneath, what I would like. And if I don't like it, I can then drag and drop. So I love that you have the on-page editing of this layout builder. We'll add a section heading in here this time.
I'm going to grab this question verbally that just popped up, being asked if we're be able to add iframes. I'm assuming we still can do HTML code kind of things if we need to pop in something like that, right?
Absolutely. You still have that source button over here on the side that you can switch to. You also can use your text format down below.
Yeah. Yeah, the flexibility and just the options have just become a lot more with this tool in your creativity for sure. Things that previously might have even been custom programming to design out, you're actually able to do yourself with these drop shadow boxes and these buttons and the styling to meet your needs. So we're really excited about Layout Builder. Again, that's going to be part of Drupal 10. I saw some questions coming through. I just mentioned Drupal 9 is not going away anytime soon, folks. Many of you have just barely gotten to Drupal 9, if not yet even. It's just that they already started rolling out Drupal 10. So our individuals who are going to get into these new themes are going to get Drupal 10 at no additional cost. So we don't want anyone sitting there going, well, I'm going to wait. We don't want you to wait because this new stuff is just keep coming. And we'll make sure we take care of you on that. So
yeah, absolutely.
what
we're working on,
it's going for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely very excited about Layout Builder. There are still tons of things that we are seeing in Drupal 9 too. It's still very valuable to be in that Drupal 9 platform. But again, just looking ahead, there's tons of new features that are coming down the pipeline as well. So hopefully this shows a little more on what Layout Builder can do, how it works. One of the things that we're also working on internally is just really documenting all of this out so that once we're able to update your sites to Drupal 10 and you get that Layout Builder, you also get some really great documentation and some how-to videos on how exactly to work within the Layout Builder platform. So we definitely won't give it to you and leave you with lots of questions. All of the account managers will have training on them. You can book time with them. You can use our resources. And that's something we're really, really proud of, is all the resources we have available
Right.
So with that, let me jump back to our slide deck here.
Let me ask this
Or do we
question.
have some questions?
Yeah, we do. So I'm gonna jump on this one. You know, on the home pages, because layout builders internal pages, the home pages, you don't have that layout builder feature on the homepage. The homepage is going to be the design of the homepage, right? So, so someone was asking like, hey, do any of those homepages have video components added on it or anything like that? And I don't think that they're in the current original designs, but we can customize these however you guys want. So if there's a feature you're really needing that you don't see, talk to your account manager. Let's see if it can be incorporated or if it can be incorporated with cost. So we'll make sure we find out the answers for you on those. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the big things that we're seeing is that there's a lot we can do. We create these templates. We tried to really pack them full with tons of stuff, probably more stuff than you could need on the homepage so that you have options, but we can always build something new if that's a need that you guys have. So if there's something you're really seeing, if there's a feature out there that would really be beneficial to you, please meet with your account manager. We'd love to hear more about the use case and work with you to get something like that created. All right. So cost and options. While we are really excited about these new themes, I'm sure the big question on the mind is, what does it cost to get into those new themes? It is going to differ for everybody. So please reach out to your account manager, Allison, Chrissy, and Christina. They are ready and prepared to answer those questions. They can walk with you through any customization options too, if there is that feature you're looking for that you don't quite see yet. Christina, I think we already shared, she's our project manager. She's helped walking through all these theme changes. The process itself takes 2 to 3 months to get that staging site to you so you can start adding content to that site. All right, and closing details. All of our webinars are recorded. They are all posted to our support site at support.oneeach.com/webinars. You can always get tickets into our support team there as well. They are there 24/7, so please reach out to them if you need to. We always encourage you to book meetings with your account manager. We've got Allison, Christina, and Chrissy here. These are their direct meeting links. This pulls up a calendar so you can book meetings yourself. Please talk to us. We'd love to hear your ideas. We'd love to work with you to make sure you're getting everything that you can out of your website. And then just a look at our upcoming webinars. They are always the third Thursday of the month. Next month, we're going to dive into online campaigns. Then the month after, we are going to go into an advanced web forms webinar. And then in October, we're covering all things Google with a guest speaker that is an expert in that area.
All right.
Okay. Questions? Anything that I missed, Allison?
Chrissy and Christina have been answering all those questions in the chat area. And so if anyone wants to see questions that are asked there in the Q&A, but if you have any other questions, go ahead and type them in. We are excited about all new things. It's fun. We love technology. Yes, that's us. We're guilty. And we thank you guys for attending. Hopefully you're having a good summer and come back to us in August or reach out to account manager. We're here for you. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody.